Why does toothpaste burn pimples? Intro hook 00 to 045. Okay, real talk. You have a massive pimple showing up right before something important, a date, a job interview, picture day, and you're standing in the bathroom at midnight desperately looking for anything that will make it disappear by morning. And then you spot it. The toothpaste. You've heard the hack. Your older sister swore by it. Some random TikTok said it works, so you dab a little on the pimple, go to sleep and wake up expecting a miracle. But here's the thing. It burns. Like actually stings and burns. And you're left wondering, is that supposed to happen? Is the burning a sign it's working? Or are you accidentally making things worse? Today we're going deep on that question. Why does toothpaste burn pimples? What's actually happening to your skin? And should you ever do this again? Let's get into it. Section 1. What is a pimple really? 045 to 215. Before we can understand what toothpaste does to a pimple, we need to understand what a pimple actually is. Because it's not just a bump on your face. Your skin has millions of tiny pores. Each pore is connected to a hair follicle and a sebaceous gland. That's a small gland that produces oil called sebum. Sebum is actually good. It keeps your skin moisturized and protected. But here's where things go wrong. Sometimes, because of hormones, stress, diet, or just genetics, those glands produce too much oil. That extra oil mixes with dead skin cells inside the pore, and the whole thing gets clogged. Now you've got a blocked pore. That alone gives you a blackhead or whitehead. But when bacteria, specifically a bacteria called Cutibacterium acnes, which used to be called Propionibacterium acnes, gets trapped in that clogged pore, your immune system kicks in. White blood cells rush to the site to fight the bacteria. That immune response is what causes the redness, swelling, heat, and pus you see in a full-blown pimple. So a pimple is basically a tiny infection, it's inflamed tissue, and that's really important to understand because when you put toothpaste on it, you're putting a chemical cocktail onto already irritated, inflamed skin. Section 2. What's in toothpaste? 215 to 4. Now let's talk about toothpaste, because most people have never actually thought about what's in it. Toothpaste was designed for one job, cleaning your teeth. And to do that job, it contains some seriously strong ingredients. First, there's fluoride, the active ingredient that strengthens tooth enamel and fights cavities. Then there's abrasives like hydrated silica or calcium carbonate. These are tiny particles that physically scrub plaque off your teeth, on your skin. That scrubbing action can be highly irritating. There's sodium lauryl sulfate, also called SLS, which is a detergent that creates that foamy lather. SLS is actually a known skin irritant, and some people are quite sensitive to it. There's menthol and mint oils. These are what create that cool, tingly feeling in your mouth. On skin, especially sensitive skin, menthol creates a strong burning or stinging sensation. And then there's triclosan, an antibacterial compound that was in toothpaste for decades. A lot of brands have removed it now because the FDA raised safety concerns, but it's still in some older or store brand formulas. Some toothpastes also contain hydrogen peroxide for whitening, alcohol, and various artificial flavoring agents, none of which are remotely designed for skin contact. So when you slap toothpaste on your pimple, you're applying a product that contains detergents, abrasives, mint oils, and antibacterial agents directly onto your most sensitive skin. No wonder it burns. Section 3. Why it burns. The science. 4 to 545. So here's exactly what's happening chemically when that toothpaste touches your pimple. Your pimple is already in a state of inflammation. The skin barrier around it is compromised, meaning it's more permeable than usual. Things get in easier, and things that get in, they irritate faster. The menthol in toothpaste activates something called TRPM8 receptors in your skin, the same receptors that respond to cold temperatures. This is why menthol creates that icy hot burning sensation. On intact skin, it's mildly noticeable. On a raw, inflamed pimple, it amplifies into a significant sting. Sodium lauryl sulfate disrupts your skin's natural lipid barrier. It strips away the protective oils that keep your skin balanced. On a pimple, where the skin is already broken down, SLS can cause significant irritation, redness, and even chemical burns with prolonged contact. Baking soda, which is present in many toothpaste formulas, is highly alkaline, meaning it has a high pH. Your skin's natural pH is slightly acidic, around 4.5 to 5.5. Messing with that balance disrupts the skin microbiome and can cause dryness and flaking. Hydrogen peroxide, in whitening toothpaste, is literally an oxidizing agent. It kills bacteria, yes, but it also damages healthy skin cells in the process. And fluoride, while great for teeth, can cause something called puerperal dermatitis if it stays on skin for extended periods. That's a rash of small red bumps, usually around the mouth. Ironically, some people who put fluoride toothpaste on their chin pimples end up triggering more breakouts. So the burning you feel, it's not a sign of healing, it's your skin telling you it's under chemical attack. Here's the big question everyone wants answered. Okay, it burns, but does it actually work? The honest answer is, kind of, sometimes, but not for the right reasons, and not without a cost. In older toothpaste formulas, especially ones containing triclosan, there was a legitimate antibacterial effect that could reduce pimple-causing bacteria on the skin. Triclosan genuinely killed C. acnes, But as we mentioned, most brands remove triclosan. The drying effect of toothpaste can reduce a pimple's size temporarily. SLS strips oil. Baking soda dries out moisture. A pimple that's been dried out may look smaller the next morning. But here's the catch: that drying actually triggers your skin to produce more oil in response. You dry it out, your sebaceous glands panic and go into overdrive, and you can end up with more breakouts in the following days. Dermatologists, that's medical doctors who specialize in skin, are pretty unanimous on this. The American Academy of Dermatology does not recommend toothpaste as a pimple treatment. Full stop. Dr. Joshua Zeichner, a well-known dermatologist in New York City, has said that while toothpaste may temporarily reduce a pimple's size, it can cause irritation and even chemical burns, making the situation worse in the long run. So yes, you might wake up with a slightly less raised pimple, but you might also wake up with a red, irritated, peeling patch of skin that's even harder to cover with makeup than the original pimple was. Okay, so if toothpaste is out, what should you actually reach for at midnight when a pimple shows up? Let's talk about ingredients that are actually proven to work. Benzoyl peroxide. This is the gold standard for spot treatment. It kills acne-causing bacteria and reduces inflammation. You can find it in concentrations from 2.5% to 10% in products at any drugstore. Start with 2.5% to minimize dryness. Salicylic acid, a beta-hydroxy acid that penetrates deep into pores and helps break down the gunk that clogs them. Great for blackheads and whiteheads, and solid for inflammatory pimples too. Look for 2% concentration in spot treatments. Adapalene. This used to be prescription only, but it's now available over the counter as Differin gel. It's a retinoid, which means it speeds up cell turnover, prevents clogged pores, and reduces inflammation. Dermatologists love it. Tea tree oil. If you prefer a more natural approach, several studies have shown that 5% tea tree oil gel is comparable to 5% benzoyl peroxide in treating acne. It's slower but gentler. Hydrocolloid patches. These are game changers. You've probably seen them called pimple patches. They work by drawing fluid out of the pimple through osmosis, protecting the area from bacteria and preventing you from picking at it. Brands like Mighty Patch are popular for a reason. Ice, simple and underrated. Wrap an ice cube in a cloth and hold it on the pimple for a minute. It constricts blood vessels, reduces redness and swelling, and numbs the area. Won't cure the pimple, but makes it less angry overnight. So let's bring it all together. Toothpaste burns pimples because it's loaded with chemicals, menthol, SLS, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, that are designed to clean hard tooth enamel, not care for delicate skin. When those chemicals hit an already inflamed pimple, they trigger burning, stinging, and irritation. The burning is not a sign that it's working. The burning is your skin telling you to stop. The toothpaste hack is one of those things that has been passed down for decades, from mom to daughter, from one teenage sleepover to another, and the internet kept it alive way longer than it should have been. The truth is, we have actual science now. We have real dermatologist-approved products at every price point that genuinely treat pimples without destroying your skin barrier in the process. So next time you're standing in your bathroom at midnight with a rogue pimple, step away from the Colgate. Grab a pimple patch, dab on some benzoyl,